Hi guys, welcome to today's literacy tutorial. I thought I'd start today's lesson looking at a funny picture. Can you spot the mistake that apostrophe man has spotted? Today, our learning objective will focus on when we should not use an apostrophe. Pause the video now and examine each one of these examples of apostrophe mistakes. Can you identify where the businesses have made mistakes? And most importantly, can you explain their mistakes? Okay, up until now we have really focused on when we should use apostrophes. We know that they should only ever be used in contractions. For example, it's, it is. Or to show possession, that something belongs to someone. Let's not be caught out. Plural nouns only ever need an apostrophe if it's showing that something belongs to it. This is a common mistake that people make. Use its, its, for possession. Here's an example. The Iron Man heard the clinking of metal upon metal. It turned awkwardly. Its eyes glowed red. You can see the word its, without an apostrophe, is used to show that the eyes belong to it, the Iron Man. Never ever use it' unless you mean it is. The word its is a common mistake. Take a moment to have a look at its two uses. It's time to get some practice identifying apostrophes that have been used incorrectly. Spot the mistake in each of the sentences below. There are far too many cars on the road nowadays. We can't go in there. It might be dangerous. My mum's birthday is next month. The frightened child cries on my shoulder. There's a mistake in every sentence. Let's see how you got on. For sentence A, cars is just a plural word, so just because it ends with S, an apostrophe shouldn't be used. We can see in sentence B, the apostrophe has been used for a contraction, but it's been used incorrectly. Remember, apostrophes are used for contractions to show where the letters have been removed from the two words. Sentence C, my mum's birthday is next month. The apostrophe has been used to show possession here. Mum owns the birthday, but the apostrophe should come before the S. And lastly, D, the frightened child cries on my shoulder. Well, this is the wrong spelling of the word cries. It should be C-R-I-E-S. Let's move on and get more practice. True or false, the apostrophe has been used correctly in the sentence below. Pause the video, have a read, and tell me what you think. False. It should be sweets, just the plural noun. Again, it's a common mistake. Just because a word ends in S, don't put an apostrophe in. The apostrophes in the words below have been used incorrectly. Take a moment now to write the correct spelling of these contractions. Pause the video. How did you get on? Read the two sentences below and identify where the apostrophes have been used correctly. The cake's halves are not equal, so you're getting more than me. We had lots of playtime as a reward for our hard work, and rightly so. Now remember, this time you're looking to identify the apostrophes that have been used correctly. Pause the video. Okay, let's see how you got on. You can see the apostrophe in cakes has been used for possession. The half belongs to the cake, and you can also see the apostrophe in your is correct because it shows a contraction. Instead of you are, it's your. Have a go at this one. Read the passage, underline the words where an apostrophe is used incorrectly in the sentences below. Okay, let's have a look. These are the words that were used incorrectly. Days is just a plural. Again, that common mistake. Just because a word ends with S, don't use an apostrophe. I shan't. Here the person has used the wrong contraction for shall not. The apostrophe should be between the N and T. The children's singing was beautiful. Well, Children is a plural word. It doesn't end with S, so the apostrophe comes before the S to show possession. And finally, the name James ends with an S, so the apostrophe should come after the S to show possession. James's mum cried. Right, are you ready for your next challenge? Pause the video now and give it a go. Well, the sentence should look like this. My brother's worried about his competition as the other teams are very good and he'd like to win. You can see that an apostrophe is needed for the word brother because he owns the worry. An apostrophe is also needed for he'd. They made a mistake initially. The apostrophe comes before the D. And of course, the word teams does not need an apostrophe. It's just a plural that ends with S. Let's look at your next challenge. Mason is completing the following sentence. My mum collects something wherever she sees them. Let's see what Mason says. Mason says, I need to write shells to finish the sentence. Okay. Is Mason right? Explain your answer. Oh, Mason's just noticed that this is incorrect. Let's see why. It's incorrect because he needs to write shells instead, without an apostrophe. Shells is a plural noun. Plurals don't need an apostrophe except to show ownership. Oh, just because it ends in S, we're not going to write an apostrophe. Give this one a go. Have the apostrophes been used correctly in the sentence below? Mylene's rabbit's fur is very soft and fluffy, and I'll look after it when she's away. Pause the video now. The apostrophes have not been used correctly because it should read Mylene's with the apostrophe before the S, rabbits with the apostrophe before the S, because Mylene owns the rabbit and the rabbit owns the fur. And then the two contractions are incorrect as well. It should read I'll and she's with the apostrophes in the position to show the missing letters. Let's go back to these. Did you spot the mistakes in all of the real advertisements? Now we're finished today's literacy tutorial. Now you're ready for your independent task. Good luck!